I think everybody sort of takes a lot from the environment that you grow up in, and I think there are very positive things that can be taken from almost any environment, and I've seen it from people who have grown up in environments that are very different from the one I grew up in. So I think I think it has a lot to do more with your attitude about getting to know people, where you're raised, and giving others kind of an opportunity to to learn more about you. I think that's a big part of it. I mean, I grew up in a place that was very ethnically diverse, and as a consequence of that, I think I had a sensitivity as a young person to the fact that people came from very different places in life, and that in some cases that gave them an advantage, in some cases it gave them a pretty serious disadvantage. And so you learn very quickly not to judge a book by its cover, and get to know people a lot better, to sort of get through whatever sort of stereotypes or prejudices that you may have sort of picked up along the way. And I think that's a very healthy thing to do. But having said that, I've got lots of people in my life who grew up in very different environments that were more homogeneous, and they'll tell me that they went through the same exercise, which is that everyone was sort of well off, and everyone seemed on the surface to be pretty much the same. But if you took the time to actually get to know people a lot better, you'd realize that there were real big differences, and that they became their relationship with you became a lot richer because you kind of went through the surface. So I think the sort of what you sort of learn from that is that if you enjoy people, if that's sort of if you consider yourself a social being as opposed to one who's not, then what really it comes down to is not so much where did you grow up and was it this kind of a neighborhood or that kind of a neighborhood, but do you personally make the effort to get to understand people better and get to know them better, and not allow whatever sort of surface impressions to be the only ones that you make. And that I think would go a long way toward resolving a lot of the differences that people have, because you kind of get a sense of walking in their shoes a bit, and then you cut them a little bit more slack on things you might not cut them slack on. You have a lot more sort of appreciation for what they have been able to do, and you also can find sort of things about it that are of real interest. I mean, I think personal relationships become richer if you don't allow the sort of superficial elements of it to dictate it.